crying out loud, what's the matter with these nails, then?
I don't know why you bother. Look at the mess.
Ain't no mess, I've got the paper done, ain't I?
Why can't you take them down the cobbler like everybody else?
What, that bodger? Listen, you want a job done proper, you got to do it yourself, ain't you? Hey, look at that. You want a quality soul, my dear. Look at that. Look at the pliancy in that leather. Anyway, I don't know what you're moaning about. Look at the money I save.
Well, of course you do, don't you? Of course you do. Because you nicked that leather off the docks, don't you?
I never nicked that fella. I wanted a bales. You talking about? Shut up. Shut up, you will you? Shut up.
In a few moments, the Greenwich time signal, followed by the news and radio newsreel.
Right.
Well, how are the pips tonight, then? Are they all right?
Just about.
Ah, well, there you are, you see. There you are. You see, even Greenwich Mean Time's right now that Labour's back with a big majority.
Labour? Bloody Labour. They couldn't put nothing right, they couldn't. What? Look at that. Look at that. Couldn't even pick a decent team for us to win the World Cup.
What are you talking about? It's not the government's job picking a World Cup team.
Your party's Minister of Sport now, isn't it?
Oh, he's off again, isn't he?
Wait a minute. Who said you could borrow my shaving gear?
Oh,
blooming sauce. Listen. That Dennis Howe, that Minister of Sport, he's one of your mob, isn't he? Eh? He's Labour. And what's he ever done for football since he's been Minister of Sport, eh? Nothing, absolutely bloody nothing. What? Here, else, correct, the only chance we had of keeping that World Cup here in England was when we nicked it.
Yeah. That little dog found it.
Yes, and you can't blame the World Cup team on Labour, mate.
He blames everything on Labour. He blamed the weather on him if he could.
Look, no one's talking about the weather, Miss Clever Dick.
No, but we haven't had no decent weather, not since they've been in, I noticed that.
Look. Oi, you in there. As a cabinet minister around, look, he's perfectly entitled.
Gales, terrible gales.
Listen, on a ministerial level, there's not.
No, in April.
Why don't you shut up, you silly mare? You know, I lost the thread in my argument. I lost the thread here, haven't I?
Listen, if you feel so strong about it, why don't you write to Dennis Howe? Go on, write to him. Tell him his World Cup team's got a bottle.
Write to him? I wouldn't demean myself. I write to none of them Labourites no more. What? Oh, I wrote to Harold Wilson once, didn't I? Yeah, I told him his bloody clock was wrong. He's Big Ben. What? He never even had a decency reply. And there was a stamp-addressed envelope in the letter and all.
Yeah, well, where you go? You didn't expect him to answer letters like that, do you?
If he was a gentleman, he would have answered it, wouldn't he? Hey, if he had any manners, he would have. What? They nixed my Faulkney stamp, didn't they? Hey, yeah, they nixed my Faulkney stamp and they sit up there, them MPs, in that Houses of Parliament, copying their 20,000 a year.
20,000 a year? 20,000? Listen, you don't half took a load of covers, don't you? 20,000 a year? Listen, old Wilson don't even get 20,000 a year, and he's the Prime Minister, mate.
Listen, what they tell you they get, and what they funds in their pockets, I mean, that's 25 things, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
Perks, that's what I'm talking about.
Perks?
You blue-eyed virgin perks. Listen, you don't think they can afford to live up there the way they do and what they're supposed to be earning, do you? What? Off to the silly holes every 5 minutes?
In a boat.
What?
Yeah, they go close in a boat.
Oh, shut up, you silly man. Listen, they ain't got nothing of their own, they ain't, them Labourites. They ain't got no private fortunes. Not like us Tories have.
Here, I never seen any of it.
Hey, listen, oh, God. Well, how do you get their private fortunes anyway,
By using this, mate, by using the old loaf. That's how they got it, and that's how they're going to hang on to it and all.
Oh, I don't know. Nothing but arguments.
What are you talking about?
Arguments,
Listen, I'm only... Shut up a minute, will you? Let me get a word in edgeways. I'm only trying to teach the boy something, innit? I'm only trying to put a bit of sense into his head. Look, the salient facts is these, innit? Right? Number one, the Tories has got money, right? Right, you agree with that, right? Number two, if you've got money, you don't need to fiddle, right?
Oh, give me.
Therefore, number three, the Tories can afford to be honest. It's obvious conclusion.
Don't talk so wet, will you? Don't talk so wet. What's the matter with you? Look, the most dishonest government this country ever had was during the 13 years of Tory
Well, that's only according to your party. It's only according to his party, isn't it? Hey, listen, if you want to talk about dishonesty...
Hey, eggs is going up again.
You want to talk about dishonesty... What about the packet old Wilson made on the last election, eh? Nothing said about that, I noticed.
What are you talking about? What packet?
What? He made a fortune on that last election.
Oh, yeah? Oh, did he? Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, well, come on then, tell us how.
By betting, that's how.
Betting?
Yeah, betting on the last election, of course.
What betting?
Look.
How did he do it then? Come on.
How did he do it? It's obvious, isn't it? If you think about it. Use your loafer. But listen, on that last election, see, they was betting, wasn't they?
Yeah.
Not only on who'd win the election, but when it'd be, right? Yeah. And the only man in the country who knew when it would be was Harold Wilson himself, because he's the bloke who had to choose when it would be, didn't he? So what'd he do, eh? What'd he do,
come on,
I'll tell you, the crafty devil. He goes up, before he makes it official, he goes up to see Her Majesty, doesn't he, up the palace, right? Which is his prerogative, I'll grant you that. And you stop your giggling and pay attention, you might learn something. He goes in to see her, right? Yeah. And he says to her, can I absolve the Parliament, right? And she says to him, so be it. And before she's even got her crown off, he's out the back door, down the betting shop, banging his money off. What? And he ain't even got the grace to bung a few quid on for her and all.
What are you talking?
You know perfectly well what I'm talking about, because if that had been Sir Alec home, at least he would have been gentleman enough to bung a bet on for her and all.
Sir Alec Hume ain't the leader of your party.
No, and more's the pity. That grammar school twit they got up there now.
Oh, God, he judges everyone by himself. Could he do that? I think Mr. Wilson would.
What?
Mr. Wilson's not like you, Dan.
No, he ain't going for that.
Listen, what do you mean he's got? Hang on, I'll tell you, Harold Wilson has got integrity.
Integrity? You call that integrity? Exploiting the constitutional monarchy? What, clobbering the bookies for all that money?
Well, it's very one-sided, if you ask me.
What are you talking about? What?
Well, he's done all right, hasn't he, old Wilson, eh? And you haven't even got a house to call your own.
Oh, you don't have to.
Why is it, eh? Why ain't your Labour Party done nothing for you two, eh?
Well,
you pay your tenner in every week, don't you, like everybody else? Yeah, and when the election was on, you was down there helping them with all their meetings.
Meeting? What are you talking about, you silly mayor? They never went down no Labour Party meetings. They was always up the Tory ones. They was heckling and shouting and barracking. What? Yeah, and throwing stink. And I was ashamed I was to be seen with you. And when Sir Alec home, him come down here to talk to us, and you started hollering things out. Oh, a bloody language. I didn't know where to put me face.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What did they give them, eh?
Well, I'll tell you what they're giving us.
Go on, you tell us what they give you. I'm very interested.
Listen.
What do you think you're doing? Well, have a bit of respect for your parents, then.
What they're giving us? They're giving every one of the working class a chance to build a better Britain. Not only better, but prosperous and fair as well.
Charming.
That's all right, comrade. That's your Tory humour. Listen,
go on then.
A more civilised society, girl, I'm telling you. Not a rat race, you know. With better hospitals, more schools.
Go on then, Mrs. Panker. Go on then, Sylvia. Let's hear all about your radical materialism. Isn't it lovely, eh?
I'll tell you another thing we're going to get.
What?
More houses. More houses for every young person what needs them. Every young couple what needs a house.
Yeah, this ain't Hyde Park, you know.
Houses.
No need to shout with
I was just in a manifesto.
You want a house?
Yeah.
You want a house?
I do, yeah.
Well, listen. You blooming great pudding, you want to get a job first, don't you?
Oh,
get your hands dirty a bit, save up and buy a house, like what I had to.
Buy a house like you had to, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not kidding, it's the right stately home he's got here.
Listen here, you ain't too proud to live in it, I noticed that.
Too proud?
Yeah.
To live
I'll
here?
tell you something, you wouldn't mind owning a little house like this.
Hey, look, if you think that I'm going to spend 40 years of my life flogging me guts out like you, huh? To end up with a muck hole like this, you balmy.
Oh?
Yeah.
Muck hole!
Look what you've done.
Hey?
Well, look at the veins standing out on his head.
Look! I worked hard, haven't I? I worked hard. If he is my witness, I worked hard here, haven't I? to keep a roof over your mummy's head here. Oh, blimey, you're kidding me here! What are you doing with the iron? Look at that! Listen, I never spared myself, have I? Eh? I've faced up to my responsibilities. My little girl here. And I've faced up to all my responsibilities. And what do you get for it, eh? What do you get for it?
A mucko.
Shut up!
You Geordie yobbo.
Yeah, I'll find my scouts.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, they're the worst kind of Geordies, aren't they?
Satisfied?
Hey?
Look, he's my dad, don't forget, and this is his house. And if he hadn't been kind enough to let me stay here, we'd be in a right pickle. Because if we had to rely on you for home, I don't know what we'd do.
Hey, whose side are you on anyway?
Shut up.
Don't talk to me.
Shut up.
Look at that.
This to the size of half a crown on there.
Look at that. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll get some margarine. I'll put it...
Get off for me, don't you even touch me. Get off. Look at that. Oh.
Hey, man, I didn't mean nothing.
2 weeks off work to do with that, wouldn't I? I'll have to get a certificate and all, I will. Look at that.
Hey, look, listen.
Shut up!
All right, well, I'm going out then. Hey, listen to me. I'll tell you something. I'll get a place to live in.
Yeah?
I will. It's the last thing I do. And when I do, girl, you can either come and live with me or stay here with him in this mucko. And don't wait up for me either.
It's easy to see the way he was brought up.
I suppose you're happy now, both of you.
What? You gonna start?
I suppose you're happy now, you busted us up.
You shut...
You've been trying to come between us ever since we... And you didn't want us to get married, did you?
I'll give you a
And now you're
backhander in a minute.
busted up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we only said to wait.
Wait, that's all, wait.
Wait till what? Wait till when? Well, you've done it now. You've busted us up now. And I suppose you're happy. Well, I'm not.
Get off.
Now look what you've done.
I'm going to have a drink.
That's it. You ruined their marriage, now go out and ruin your liver.
Ruin my liver. Ruin my liver. What I can afford to drink wouldn't ruin a bleeding rabbit's liver. Go on, tell us.
So listen. So he says he reckons old Wilson goes down to Palace and asks the Queen to absolve Parliament. Absolve? He's the Pope, you know what I mean? So he's because it's burglative, isn't it? It's one, and he's got to, isn't it?
It's a pint of usual. Like to have a chance, have the money sometimes to ruin me liver.
So listen. So then he goes over, only puts his hand on the iron and burns it, doesn't it? Then after that, I'm cheering him up. I'm cheering him up. See? So I say to him, sir, do you think I'm going to live in a mucko like this? Hey, Frank, give us a down. Yeah, right. Do you mind moving, like, we want to play a game, you know?
Come on, help, get out of the way, we want to play darts. I'm fully entitled to sit here if I want to. Look, this ain't a house of sports, you know. This is a public house of drinking, and a licence and victuals have its state.
We want to play darts.
Yeah. Come on now, move.
No, I ain't going to anyway, I was here first.
Come here. Leave it to me, I'll get rid of it. Leave it to me. Hey, I'll tell you something. We've had a few tonight, haven't we, eh? Hey, I can't even see the ball properly.
Hey. If you hit the old man, don't count.
Doesn't count. Can I have another go, then, can I? Right, here we go.
Not here! You shut your face! Look here! You put my eye out.
Put his eye.
You put my eye out with one of them things, and you can be liable. You can. You'll be liable for up a £10,000 compensation. You can.
£10,000?
Yeah, £10,000.
I haven't even got £10,000, have I? Eh? Huh?
Thank you. You.
Hey,
I want to bag of tricks, son. That's what I really
called him up. Here. Sorry. Come on, Alf, let's have the dark.
Oh no! I'm perfectly entitled to sit here, and I'm perfectly entitled to protect myself from any missiles. Yeah.
Come on, Alf. Give him back them.
Oh yeah, what? So they can fry 'em, mate, me
We'll sit somewhere else in this place.
Let him go play darts somewhere else then.
Look, Alf, if you don't move, I won't serve you no more.
Oh, listen, you can't do that.
Oh?
No, you can't, because this is a public hostelry, see?
Hostelry?
You shut your face, you might learn something. Any member of the public who comes in here with the price of a pint, you can't refuse to serve them, nor even a glass of water even.
I refuse to serve anyone I like.
Get away, you fat git, of course you can't.
You're barred!
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Listen, it's only pub round here.
I know it's not the only pub around here.
Hey,
Fred, hey, come on, leave it alone. Now, don't go too strong.
Listen, I don't want you defending me. Get on.
Shut up! He's barred!
Is he? All right, then, if he's barred, I'm barred and all.
All right, you're barred and all.
Yeah, you're barred.
And me.
And he's barred.
I am.
Yeah.
I know there's some of that all.
Yeah, they're all
barred, I'm
barred.
barred. Hang on a minute, fellas.
Yeah, all barred.
I thought they wanted to play darts.
No, you barred.
Hey, fellas! Can't you take a joke?
What, you were joking?
Yeah, I was joking.
Oh, I was joking, innit? Hey, all barred, that's what I am.
Hey, you put me
You want to bar them, you bar them, don't you? Hey.
God, but this is a bit cloudy, isn't it?
Cloudy? Yeah. Well, still when them Labourites nationalise it, won't it, hey? Be all co-op beer then, won't it, hey?
You're a governor's man.
Governor's man? Of course I'm a governor's man, because he pays my wages, doesn't he? Listen, I ain't got nothing against the working class. But what I say is this, let them stick to their proper function.
What?
And their proper function ain't sitting up there in Downing Street mucking about with a straightest quo. Listen, look, wait a minute. Look, you got army, mate. You got army, ain't you?
Listen, the army's changed since the Boer War.
Shut your face and listen, clever dick. You got army, ain't you?
Yeah.
Right? Well, you don't run your army with working class generals, do you?
Why not?
Why not? Well, it's the same with your navy, isn't it? Same with the
Don't
navy.
have generals in the navy.
Fuck with your fancy waistcoat. Look at him. Listen, look at your church now. You look at your church.
That's all covered with pigeons in that.
Look, you know what I mean. You show me a working class bishop.
Never seen
eh?
a bishop.
No, and I'll tell you something else. You don't see no bishops living in no council houses, neither.
Mr. Wilson don't live in a council house.
No, he don't. You're dead right, he don't.
And he don't live in a muck hole either.
I'll flatten him
Don't worry about your mate, love. He'll be back.
I don't care what he does.
Got nowhere else to go, has he?
I don't know, and I don't care.
If he dropped them politics, it'd be a blessing.
Dad's as bad on that.
Yeah, your dad's an older man, though.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, he's seen a lot of service and that.
Anyway, Mike's entitled to have his own ideas about things,
Well,
Mum.
of course he is. But he won't be guided. That's his trouble. He's too headstrong. Here, I hope he don't run into your dad again tonight. There'll be murder done if he does. Lovely boy.
Hello, we're back. I brought him back, and I...
Hey, what? Hey.
gone to bed.
Gone to bed? Yes, I've got a voice though, that one with the ginger hair. You got a lovely... No, look, I'll grant you, I ain't trained, is it? But she can't half belt out a song for an amateur, can't she?
Let's go and get her, eh?
I went out with me slippers on, didn't I?
I was annoyed with you.
I was annoyed.
We're going to get our heads down.
Garrett,
Otherwise,
look,
we'll be in debt.
I want you to have this because you're a good boy. I mean, we all have our different opinions. Come on.
Thanks.
We all have
you
a
sharing that with me, because I'm not kidding. Johnny shared it with me.
What?
And I appreciate that, I really do.
No, it's nothing, because you're a good boy, ain't you?
You go and get your head down, and if she gives you any old lip, both give her.
No, I wouldn't, no.
All right.
If I could only see, then as I could only come out of there, will you? Come in. See here, you wait, love. You wait, are you?
Go away!
No, listen. He's back here. He's back.
Go away, shut up!
No, I said I brought him back, and I brought our little girl, whoops. I brought our little girl's husband back to, didn't I?
I wish you'd stayed away with
No,
him.
listen, don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Oh, get away, you drunken pig!
No.
I wish there was another room I could sleep in away from you.
I only had... I only had a little drink, didn't I? Because the boy was very distressed, and he was in a very distressed state, and I had to have a little drink with him.
Here, turn over the other way. Oh, I don't want your drunken breath all over me all night. Oh,
Distressed
beer.
state he was. He was distressed.
Oh, come on.
No.
All right.
Get off.
All right. But two can play that game, don't forget.
Well, hurry up, will you? It's cold, ain't it? When you are in love, it's lonely as night of the year. When you are in love. Here. Is she talking to you? Eh? Well, she's talking to you. No. She ain't talking to me, no. No, she ain't talking to me. She ain't. She called me a drunken pig. Drunken pig, she called me. Oh, she didn't do that.
Shut up here. See, you've got that talk up again, eh?
Tell him to shut up.
I don't mind him staying on here. I mean, I'm not all that fond of him myself, but I'm willing to put up with him for your sake. But I'll have no more arguments in this house. First argument, out he goes. And if he's got all that money to go drinking with, he ought to be saving it. Get a place of your own.
It's not only Mike that drinks.
No, I spoke to your dad about that as well. I don't know what he wants to drink for. It makes him feel that queer in the morning.
All right. Well, enough of that this morning, haven't we? What about a cup of tea, then?
You want a cup of tea? Get up and get it yourself.
Listen, I always bring you one up, don't I?
Well, I'm not bringing you one up.
It's all right, I'll get it. I'll get it, don't worry about that.
Here.
Oh no, I couldn't eat no food. I feel too rotten. Take it away.
Serves you right, shouldn't drink.
All right. We've heard enough of that this morning. Oh, how do you feel, mate?
Terrible.
We shifted a few last night, didn't we, eh? We had a right skinful there.
You're not joking, I'm not kidding you. Listen, it feels as though there's a little fella in my head there with a bloody grate banging away trying to get out.
Yeah, well, I've got his mate over here, haven't I?
I don't know what you do it for. You must be mad.
Hello, we're going to have a right cheerful Sunday here, aren't we, eh? Bloody telly's broke. Nothing but rubbish on the wireless. Can't go out and have a drink. You can't even talk in the house no more.
Nobody said you couldn't talk.
Well, he can't, can he? If he so much as opens his mouth, he's out. Got to pack his bags, according to you.
I've never said he couldn't talk. I just don't want no more arguments, that's all.
Arguments? Who has arguments?
You do.
What are you talking about? We don't have arguments. Discussions. We have discussions, we don't have arguments.
I don't care what you call it, it's arguing.
It ain't arguing, I tell you.
What is it then?
Look, when you... look, move that over there, will you? It's turning me up here. Bubble and squeak, come on. Look, in a discussion, see, when you have discussions, right, you put your salient points of view to each other, right?
Yeah.
See, look. You put your pros, don't you, right?
Yeah.
And you put your cons, don't you? Then you like debate with any points of contention arising out of your polemics. See? Now do you understand what discussion is?
Yeah. It's arguing.
It ain't bloody arguing, you silly moo! All arguing is shouting and hollering, isn't it?
Well, you're shouting and hollering now.
I ain't blooming shouting and hollering! Anyway, you were enough to make a saint shout and holler, you are. Here, Mike, listen. What's he doing now? Eating her? Oh, darn it, Marvus. 10 o'clock in the morning, they're at it already. Oi, lover boy.
Hey, what?
Leave her alone, will you? Listen.
What?
Tell her what discussions is.
Discussions is arguing.
Oh, well, Robbie, you're worse than she is, isn't you? I'll tell you what, ain't all. Of course. What, another party heard
Hey,
from?
listen here.
Listen.
All right, look,
What?
where's the dictionary then?
I don't know where the dictionary is. How do I...
He's holding up the table then.
Here, that's marvellous, isn't it? Show a little respect for it. It costs a lot of money, that
Well, why
dictionary.
don't you mend it?
It ain't my job to mend the table. I'm out earning a living.
Going on
This,
about
I'll tell you, this
discussion.
Wait a minute.
All the same thing.
What? Shut up a
Hey,
minute.
stop a minute. There.
What?
Discussion.
Yeah?
The reasons urged in support of a theory.
There you are.
Discussion of a question.
That's right.
Debate. Summary.
Yeah?
Arguments.
There you are.
Where's it saying?
Says that.
Yeah, look, you can't go by that.
What do you mean
That's
you
out of date, that
What
is.
is
That's
that?
old
How can it be?
dictionary. That's
How
load
can
of
it be?
rubbish.
How can it be?
Listen, you get on with your sausage and... Hey, come on.